island basically north of mainland Shetland, and then I'm going to drive across that, and I'm going to go to Unst, which is the most northerly inhabited island of the UK. I've been up there before with Arian from Spearfishing. I don't know if you've seen those videos, you should go check them out. But basically I finished work early on a Friday, and me and a couple of mates have decided to go full send, and we're going up to Muckle Flugga is the plan. We've got a weather window and we're just going for it. So that's the plan. I can't wait. It's big blue water, gnarly tides. I know what fish they're catching on rod and line, so if I can get stuck into them, it's going to be mega. I will be jumping on the most northerly landmass, if you like to say. It's actually a tiny little island of the UK. There is no further. It's Norway. It's Norway, Fair Island is pretty much it. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait to come along for the adventure. Got this ferry ride, a bit of a drive, so we'll be staying the night and we'll be starting off nice and early. So stay tuned. It's going to be good. Good morning everyone. A little bit chilly, it's bright and early. The sun is just coming up of what's going to be hopefully a mega day out. Just got to the marina, just basically going through all the gear. I got the boat in late last night, ran it up, all the gears on there, the guns, the fishing rods. I'm going to get half mast in my suit and we're going to get out there. Should be about 25 minutes, half an hour run out to Muckle Flugga, but it's just super glassy, so it's going to be pretty quick, I think. Yeah. It wasn't long before we got into the thick of it. We were only just out round the corner before we bumped into our first pod of dolphins. We've seen this lovely one coming up nice and close to us, but then they just kept on coming. We think that some of them were Riso dolphins, we're not too sure, but we decided to carry on going because we had a mission and we needed to get to Muckle Flugga. So we've just stopped because we've got 3 minke whales all around us. This is nuts. We've not even got to Flugga yet. Now this is what is definitely special about Shetland, is going on missions like this, you never know what you're going to see, and seeing minke whales and dolphins this far, or this at the start of your journey like this, has to be a good sign. Even if I don't shoot any fish today, I think my day is already made, to be honest. But let's see what's out there. Turning the corner of the north of Unst, we can finally see Muckle Flugga in the distance, and out north of that is the outstack. The seas are calmed off a little bit, but it's not long before we get into some crazy tides, and this is what I love about this place. It's completely wild. You have to have your wits about you, but there's some mega fish about. So there's only one thing for it, that's to get stuck into it and get the wetsuit on. So we have made it. We are at the most northerly point of the UK, which is that island behind us. It's called the Outstack, and I'm gonna suit up and try and dive it and see what's there. Hopefully there's some fish. It's completely live here. There's huge tide, so we're gonna play it safe. I've got Kenny and Tom on the boat ready to help me, and if it's not doable here, we're gonna head over to Muckle Flugga, where the lighthouse is, and find some more sheltered waters. But to take it off the bucket list, I need to jump in here, so that's what I'm gonna do. So here we are. We got to Muckle Flugga and it's time to get in. First port of call is diving the Outstack. Now this sits off the top of Muckle Flugga itself, and in between the two islands, tides can get up to 7 knots. And when tides go against the weather, this place can get pretty hairy, and I've seen these seas up to 4 or 5 meters swell and waves whilst I've been there, and that is calm days. I have seen the fish that get caught on rod and line here, and I see no excuse why I can't go and try and shoot them. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to dive some crazy marks, which I've always wanted to have a look at. Whether I find the fish or not, I think it's going to be pretty interesting getting in there, learning the structures, learning the seas, and just having a good look about. So let's get in there and see what we find. One big thing I love about places like this with big tidal rich environments isn't just the sea life, like there's cute little jellyfish, but it's the visibility that comes with it. They're nice big clean open seas, and I just love diving in clear water. I can see the marks I want to dive. It does make it a little bit trickier sometimes hunting the fish, but who doesn't want to dive in 15 meters of viz? So far I'm just doing some warm-up dives, starting around 10 meters, and I've started slowly pushing to the 15 meter mark. You can see the structure here pretty clearly. This thing just drops down relatively steep. I mean, I'm sitting at 15 meters and still looking down. It's not long before I maybe get a hint of why there's no fish swimming about in the open. I see a seal playing about in the white water and the waves breaking around the rocks, and what do I see in his mouth? One of the biggest cod's heads I have ever seen. So I go in for a closer look, and I'm not there to steal his fish, but I'm there to have a look, even though he thinks I'm there to steal his fish. Now usually I would just get out the water, because if there's seals around hunting, there's usually going to be no fish, especially in the open, and I'll need them to be in the open in this sort of grounds. But when I see a cod like that, there has to be a cod somewhere for me to shoot, so I give it a few more dives. Again, I've dived down to around 13-14 meters, and I'm just looking down to at least 20 or more. I've got about 15 meters visibility here, so if you think I'm at 15, I'm looking a fair way down. I'm a bit reluctant to go and push some depths, especially how it's just me in the water. I'm also not seeing the fish, so it's not worth me pushing it if I can't see anything there to shoot. So I think my best bet is to get back on the boat and head over to some shallow spots that I've already dived before.
If the seals are smashing it like that, I've got no chance. Like, there's no signs of fish at all.
So over to Muckle Flugga itself we go. Now I have dived a few of these marks before, but I've never spent too much time here. And with the boat crew, Kenny and Tom dropping me off, it's time to get down there and see what's there. And guess what was there? Fish. This then starts a long campaign of misses and frustrations of muzzle wrap and everything. So enjoy the next few clips of me missing and ninja fish avoiding my spears, because it was extremely frustrating for me, but it's worth a laugh. And when some of those tactics didn't work, I even tried shooting some fish from the surface. And you wouldn't believe it, but that didn't work either. Here I descend down into a nice little gully. You can see out in front of me here, there's some nice structures, some gullies, there's some deep kelp beds. And the pollock absolutely love these bits. They love hiding in them. And eventually a few come out to say hello. I eventually swim towards this one to have a shot, but my spear falls just short. Now, I'm not too sure why I keep missing like this or falling short, but eventually I work it out. This time, it's not a massive pollock, but I need to try and work out what's going on. So, I take my time and I pull the trigger and I'm bang on. Now, from what I've worked out is I've been trying to shoot pollock that I thought were average size, but turns out they were big fish just very far away, and that's because the viz has just been throwing me off. I didn't think I was shooting as far as I was, and I was falling short, and with the muzzle wraps happening it just wasn't going very well. But with this fish it gave me confidence to get back down there and let's find some bigger fish. Here I've kind of tucked myself into a nice deep kelp bed with a wall behind me, and I'm sitting about 15 meters, and I just let all the pollock come into me. I'm just decided to sit and watch and wait and just watch how they act, and they're very, very chilled. Don't get me wrong, if there's a monster in amongst them I would be aiming up and pulling the trigger, but it's very good just to watch your prey sometimes and just see what they're doing. Now, I thought after shooting one fish that I had it down and I was ready to carry on shooting fish, but I think today had other events in store for me. So after I missed that one, I seen this huge pollock come underneath me as I was in the shallows loading up ready to go. So I loaded up, pulled the trigger, and I got muzzle wrap. That is the biggest pollock I've seen, maybe in Shetland, and it was in 4 meters of water. So, if in doubt, change your gun, go to some new tactics, use what you've learned, and go back at it. This time I'm sitting a lot deeper in the kelp. This visibility is so clear, these pollock are just a bit unsure I think, so I sit deeper in the kelp and they come a lot closer in. This gives me a nice close shot on this pollock coming in.
Whoopsie!
By this point, all my average dives were around the 15 meter mark, maybe a little bit deeper. And this time I hit the bottom and there's fish everywhere. I was nice and deep, and straight away this big one came in, which I clocked straight away, but I had another look, but I couldn't resist and I pulled the trigger, stoning him on the spot. Now, I kept looking about just to see what I'd scared off, maybe. I actually didn't think that this pollock was as big as it was. and truth be told, I didn't actually think too much of it until later on when it was on the boat of how big it was. But I'm so glad it was a stone shot, and it was an awesome dive, and it was just a great finish.
I did it again!
Now, it's not just bringing the fish to the surface that I love the most, especially in this location, is you've probably noticed the bird life. Every time you come to the surface, you take that deep breath in of fresh air, you just see this swirling pile of gannets going round and round. Fair to say, it's pretty impressive.
I've shot enough fish now. Right. Oh yeah, baby. I feel looking. Well, I'm happy. I've got my fish fix. Should we go for a walk? Well, I'm pretty happy with that. There was a lot of painstaking missing and muzzle wraps. I worked out that the viz is actually that good. I'm shooting short, I'm not letting the fish get close enough, and I'm not getting close to them. I missed an absolute stonker because of muzzle wrap, but I'm pretty happy with that. And just seeing all the fish down there, I think we're going to go explore some other spots and just make the most of this weather. I've been here a fair while now, so I want to go and have a look somewhere else. So have a look at this. We are on top of Muckle Flugga. We've got the lighthouse in the background, and that right there is the furthest part of the UK. You can't get any further than that unless you go to Norway or the Faroe Islands or something. We're standing on the helipad. It's been pretty epic so far. I think I've got my new PB Pollock. It's a hell of a weight, big old belly on him. We're probably going to just have a quick bite to eat here and jump back on the boat, wet the line, see if we can catch a fish on their rod and line, and then boost back because we want to spend the afternoon somewhere else. But I'm so happy to be here. This place is just next level. It's like a Jurassic Park. It's just insane. Just look at it. I think Tom's happy as well. So I'm just reeling up because we're going to try and shoot back, and we want to go dive for some spots to get some scallops for dinner tonight. So, and we've got plenty of fish. We've got 3 big pollock and a big old cod, so we don't actually need any more fish. It's all that sustainability thing we're doing. So yeah, reel up and we're going to shoot round to another location and go have some lunch somewhere, I think. Well, there is definitely worse places to have a bite to eat, some lunch, and a bit of snorkeling. But every time I come to this area, I always stop off and dive this wreck, and it wouldn't be a trip without Tom chucking his scuba set on, me jumping into and having a good look about the wreck with the torch. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, I have dived this wreck a few times in some of my videos, I think, and basically this is an old crane truck that has fallen off a barge in the war times, and it's sitting upside down and all its wheels up. And me and Tom come here every time for a nice little look about to see what's around the wreck, and it's so nice to just get in amongst the wreck, to be honest. I just love it. Whilst we're here, we might as well have a look for some scallops. We want a nice scallop dinner, hopefully, and there's only one way to have that, and that's to go for a hunt for some scallops. Luckily, we managed to find the odd few, not a whole load, but enough for a feed, so I'm pretty happy, and what a way to finish off a mega day. Fair to say we have had a pretty mega day. We have just come to camp. Check that out. Not bad, is it, for that to wake up to? And that's what I woke up to this morning. We're all set up. Cup of tea time before beer time. But let's check out the goodies we got today. First thing I'm going to say is the Rob Allen esky bags, they're well worth it. I've had ice in this since Friday night. It's now Saturday night and it's still ice. We're fishing now. Mega. We even managed to get into a few scallops at the end. Tom was scuba diving and I was free diving. I got 2, he got 3, so we've got a bit of a dinner. It's been a good day. I've got a new PB Pollock. Look at the size of that thing.
very happy with this. Yeah, diving today was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I did being there and doing it. It's an awesome place. I have one more trip planned up here this year, as long as the weather holds out. And if there's fish like this there, then that's going to be mega. So I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Stay tuned because there will be more as always. Thanks for watching.